Hello everybody, this is David from Blueprint IoT, and today we're going to talk about chemics. This video is part of a whole video series. This series is about the whole production process of a PCB, how you can do it on your own. And of course a big part of this production is the etching process itself, and for this we need some chemics. Before we talk about chemics, I want to make sure that we talk about some protective stuff. First of all, protective gloves. I prefer these blue ones. You can buy them in a big package, 100 pieces per package, quite cheap. These are nitrile gloves. They have some advantages. They are quite smooth. You have a very nice feeling on your fingers, and they are non-allergic. So I can definitely recommend this one here. Secondly, you need some protective glasses. You can see this on this safety recommendation here. Normal safety gloves, safety glasses. Sorry. Personally, I prefer stuff like this, that are proper safety glasses. They are able to cover your whole eyes, and I can really recommend to use these ones, because once you work with these liquids, there will be always some kind of spray, and it's very easy for the spray to get into your eye, and it's definitely not good. Actually, it's quite dangerous. So make sure you invest some euros into a proper protective glass. What else do we need? We need a cover for the table. You can use a plastic cover, or as I do it, a stainless steel cover. Of course, we're using etching material here. So this, for example, this one or this one, they are able to etch metal as well. Of course, it have to etch copper at the end of the day, but metal is quite robust, and it's not like you have one piece of liquid on the metal and it's gone. It will take some time, and metal is robust and very easy to clean. So I prefer metal, but you can do it like you want. What else do we need? We are working with chemicals, and they will be liquid. So we have to put the liquid somewhere. So we use this kind of containers. They are special containers that are acid proof. And of course, at the end, we need some PCB material to etch. These containers come in different sizes. This one would be obviously too big, but to be honest, there is no too big. There's only too small, because if they are too big, it's more convenient to work. So I prefer bigger ones. But of course, like in this case, if you have a lot of space between, you have to use quite a lot of liquid, and so you waste some money, you waste some liquid. So that's basically all the stuff we need. And before we proceed, to make sure that you've understood this glove stuff, I brought some old gloves with me for you. Actually, I just used them for 5 minutes to prepare everything here, and you see on the screen. And take a closer look on the gloves. I hope you can see this yellow or green color here. It should be all blue, and that's because of this chemics we have here. They are all quite new. I guess some stuff wasn't used at all, so it should be clean, but at least there are always some small particles. And yeah, what's now on the glove would be normally on your skin. So really make sure to use gloves, and yeah, throw it away after each process, and take on some new gloves. So, but now let's talk about chemics. First of all, we have 3 kinds of chemics here. The first one is a special one. There's no alternative in my point of view, and that's sodium hydroxide, or in chemical language, NaOH. What do we do with this? That's for the developing bath. So we mix it with water, we put it into this little container, and then we can use it for the exposure process. How this process works and so on will be in another video. Today we're going to talk about the chemics itself. All these chemics come in a solid form. You can see it here. That's just a big one. It's 1 kilogram. There are also small ones. If you're a beginner, that would be enough for you. You don't need a lot of this developing bath, so the small one would be okay. But if you do it often, it's better for you, for commercial reasons, to buy the bigger one. Now you have this solid stuff, but you need some liquid stuff, so you mix it with water. Personally, I prepare everything in this nice acid-proof bottles. They are made out of polypropylene and they are acid-proof. If you prepare it in bottles like this, yeah, it's just more easy to use, more convenient to use. And if you invest some more money, you get these bottles with this nice printing here, with some measurements, and then it's very easy to mix it. What you can do as well is buy this normal acid-proof bottles, but also here make sure that you have a sticker on it to make sure that you know what's inside, because otherwise it may happen, especially if you're not doing this every day, that you're not remembering what's inside and you mix chemics together that shouldn't be mixed, and then it's definitely getting dangerous. So the NaOH is just for the developing bath. You don't need this much, and yeah, basically this is, you mix it and you use it. But make sure it's dangerous. So make sure after you used it, you pack it proper, you store it properly. Maybe you can also put a special cover at the outside, that you're not having this small particles outside. The second step is the etching itself. And now it's getting interesting, because here we have two major alternatives I prepared for you. That is, first of all, this one, and secondly this one. What's the difference? The first one here is my favorite, because it's quite clean and very easy to use, and it's called sodium persulfate. In chemical language, it's Na2 S2 O8. So that's an etching liquid, or an etching solid at the moment. You have to mix it with water again, and it's very easy to use. It's quite clean. Actually, it's transparent at the beginning, and later, if you use it, it turns blue. Why it's turning blue? That's because of the copper. As more copper you're etching, as more particles are inside the etching liquid, and this results in a blue color of the etching liquid. So that's quite a good indicator, by the way, to know whether you have to change your etching liquid or not. You will recognize it also because the etching process itself will take more time, but it's also very nice to see it on the color. For example, that's just a coincidence, but if it's looking like this, you definitely have to change it. If it's just looking a little bit blue and you can easily look through, then everything is fine, but that's a very nice indicator, by the way. If you use this, make sure that's a dangerous stuff we are working with. It can catch fire, and it's also not very healthy, so make sure you open a window or using a fan or something like this. Personally, I prefer this. You can use this in these containers as well. You put it inside and you move it very, very carefully. They have some movement inside. It works better if you heat it up, like up to 40 or 50 degrees. To do this, you can use a heating element like this one. You just put it inside and it will work fine for you. But you also have the possibility to use some more professional equipment, like this one here, and that's, you see this heating element is integrated here. So that's possible, this kind of device is possible to use with this Na2 S2 O8. If you want to use the other stuff I have here, then it's not possible to use this device. So first of all, what's the alternative? The alternative is called iron 3 chloride. It's also a nice chemical to use, but it's much more dirty. First of all, it's got a brown or orange color, and this color will stick to everything it touches. So you definitely have to work very clean and very careful. But the other reason is, if you want to use a machine, and I definitely recommend to use a machine, because with this here that's possible, but with this this heating element here, that's also a little bit dangerous because you have some electricity here and it's just hanging around here. That's not very safe. So I definitely recommend to use something like this. And this working principle is that you have air that's pumped into this pipe, and small air bubbles will escape from this pipe, and then these air bubbles will move the liquid. But the case now with this iron 3 chloride is that the small iron particles will stuck into this tube, and then the air bubbles will have no chance to escape and the whole process will not work. So iron 3 chloride is a possibility. It's sometimes easier to buy, but sometimes also more difficult. It depends on the country you're living in. And yeah, personally, I used it before. It's a possibility. It can work, but I would definitely recommend this one here, the sodium persulfate, the Na2 S2 O8. That's definitely more clean to use and more easy to use. So that's basically everything you need. That are basically all the chemics you need or you can use. Again, you can use for the etching itself the iron 3 chloride, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can use the Na2 S2 O8. That's the more clean version I would recommend to you. Make sure that you always use acid-proof bottles. Make sure to have a sticker on it, what's inside. Don't mix stuff that you're not meant to mix. And for the beginning, for the exposure process itself, make sure to use the sodium hydroxide, the NaOH. That's basically everything you need to know. How to mix it with the water is always printed on your product you're using. I will put some numbers into the video for you, and also as well into the video description, also some links to the products. But make sure to read the instructions on your product very carefully before you begin. So that's everything for today. If you have any questions, just write a comment. If you like the video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe. And yeah, looking forward to see you in the upcoming videos.